Yo, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. This is Kenya Revolutionary for another day of another session talking about Kenya politics, or should I say politics. Welcome, welcome. I'll give you a minute. Mwingie, if you're in Africa, Kenya, Australia, Europe, Asia, wherever you are, karibu sana, tafadhali. Enjoy yourself. Make yourself comfortable. We're about to go for a ride. I'll try to stay here for an hour or less, or maybe more. I don't know. Just depends. Okay. But as you can see, I just want us to review what happened yesterday, to just have a careful look at what happened yesterday regarding Bishop Margaret Wanjiru, who faked these whole injuries to push a certain narrative. And I'll tell you what kind of narrative she was trying to push. Because today I saw her, she had like a meeting. She had her friends with her, fellow bishops, and so forth, so forth. They have a kind of, not a press conference, but she was talking about what transpired yesterday and what her plans are. And, you know, she was mentioning what she's planning on, or what will come of what will happen to Ruto and his kids. Okay, so I'll get to that. And the second part of this session, I'll be talking about Oparanya. The secretary. He's not the secretary general. He's the number 2 guy, deputy whatever of the ODM. I'll review what he said and why I found his interview with KTN kind of problematic with what he was saying. We'll get to that too. I'll review that, and we shall also maybe delve on some other issues. Ngilu showed up. She just spoke today and recognized the president. Seems like everybody on ODM, Azimio are recognizing Ruto as the president finally. But that's depends. I might not talk about that, but I just want to first start with Margaret Wanjiru and what happened yesterday. Now, I want to play this clip. You've probably seen it before, but watch her carefully and watch what she says. Because remember, she said that she got injured. She was attacked by these policemen who came to her church and started demolishing her church. But she claims that these guys roughed her up, beat her, and she sustained some injuries on her arm and her legs, and she had to take some painkillers and eventually went to the hospital. You all saw the pictures on her hospital pics. First of all, I don't know about you, but if the police beat you up, you wouldn't have a shiny face as she had. I was expecting to see some bumps and bruises on her face, her arms, or somewhere else. But there was no signs of that. I'll show you the pictures. I'm sure you have, but I'll just show you so you can see for yourself and make up your mind if you really think this woman was attacked. Again, in my opinion, this was done for a certain reason. She was trying to drive a certain narrative, and I'll tell you what she was trying to push. But let's get to the press conference that she was giving after the whole drama happened at her church. Watch carefully her body language, her right hand, left arm, her face, her body. Tell me if you think this is a person who was roughed up by the police. Listen carefully, okay? Mwangalie very carefully and see. Tell me if she was really actually beaten up. Like the video if you're just joining here. Like the video, share it, comment if you haven't subscribed. Subscribe immediately. But watch the video carefully. Let's just examine her body language, how she acts. Look at her arm, the way her arm movement are. Tell me if she was really looked like somebody who was beaten up. Let's go. Let me share it with you one more time from the news that we had yesterday. Okay, let's take a look at her and we'll get back to this. Just bear that in mind, okay? Mwangalie vizuri in her body language. All right, here it is.
I wasn't campaigning to be repaid like this. I wasn't campaigning for land grabbers to come and start claiming that our church properties are their properties. We cannot lose properties in this country. Na ni wengi wamekuja wanasema ni NIS, wengine wanasema ni DCIO, wengine ni polisi, ni wengi. So definitely government is involved, and it is sad, very sad, that this is the government that we campaigned for. I'm yet to believe that they can do this to me. I'm the one who sold Kenya Kwanza, UDA in Nairobi County. I'm the one who gave them a platform. Leave alone that, I'm the one who gave them a vision for Nairobi. And today, look at what we are suffering. Ukiingia huku ndani kumejaa polisi and they are all armed. Wametunyang'anya vitu zetu, wamechukua simu, wametupiga. Me, I have to go to hospital. Sasa nimekunywa painkillers ndio nifike hapa. So I have to rush to hospital kujaribu kuona vile nitatibiwa miguu na mikono. It is sad. It is very, very sad.
Pengine tu Bishop, unaweza tueleza wamekubainia kini hasa cha kuwa?
Hapana, hakuna mtu anatuambia wanafanya nini, wanasema tu wametumwa na MD wa Railways. Na MD wa Railways ajue, hapa hakuna property ya Railways. Na MD wa Railways ajue, kuna Mungu mbinguni. Bila mnasemanga nyinyi kwa serikali kuna Mungu mbinguni, hata kwetu kwa makanisa kuna Mungu mbinguni. If anybody in Kenya Kwanza government can dare touch my properties, je, na wale raia wenye hawana mtu wa kuwasaidia, wale raia wenye hawana mwenyewe? If Jesus is alive ministries is under attack today, how about the common mwananchi? Tutahamia wapi? Tutaenda wapi? Serikali yetu yenyewe ndio inatupiga. Where are we going to go? Where are we going to run? Mimi mwenyewe nimesalimia watu wa CIO hapa, nikamwambia karibuni mtu okolee, kumbe they are coming to reinforce their NIS brothers. Alafu wakaitana wengine. So you can really see tumefika place where sisi ndio hatuna mtu wa kutusaidia ama mahali ya kukimbilia, lakini kuna Mungu mbinguni. Wacha tuone what they can do. Wamebomoa huko nyuma, kuna ukuta wanabomoa huko, hata saa hii imesimamiwa, wanabomoa, wamebomea huko, na walikuwa wamekuja tena tarehe 10 mwezi wa February wakaanza kubomoa from the start. Sasa nasi tulikuwa na harusi, kanisa ilikuwa imejaa watu, wakaenda.
Pengine Bishop, is it the same wall that you moved to?
Yes, it is the same wall, and it is the same wall that they had demolished my wall to put their wall. So now they are coming to demolish again, and it is because the court case is coming up, so they are trying to protect themselves. Ati wajafunga jia. Unajua jaji hakuja kuona amerule nini, so they are coming out, they are trying to cover up themselves, which won't work. Hata binguni kuna sheria, wacha duniani, hata binguni kuna sheria. Hey guys, I have to go to hospital. Mheshimiwa Mwango is here with us.
Sorry, of
so tumekuja hapa leo and hii attack imehappen hapa GM. I've been a member of this church toka nikuwa mtoto mdogo, and there have never been any land issue.
So
hii kitu yenye na kama nilikuja kama mbunge to find out the truth. These guys have come invaded this place. Hawana any court order, hawana any eviction. They have nothing. They're just claiming they're under from orders from above. And it is good that they have admitted there's a force behind it. MD Mainga is a person that office yake iko hapa less than 200 meters. Ni mtu mwenye anajua Bishop for a very long time.
Sorry guys, it seems like I'm kind of frozen. I'm having issues with my can you guys, somebody tell me if I'm frozen, because I'm trying to adjust. Twitter, I see I'm frozen kind of. Okay, that's better. All right. Sorry guys if you're just joining us. The issue here today, I know I'm not replaying the whole drama so we can go through it. We already know what happened. The people, whatever, they came in there and they demolished part of Margaret Wanjiru's Jesus is Alive Ministries church. Okay, but what I'm trying to examine today, I'm saying that there was a narrative that's been driven here. That's the reason why she was doing all this in public. I hope, guys, I'm audible. I can see Twitter is letting me down. Sorry, guys, I'm having technical problems, so I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to make sure that everything works as that's why I'm stopping. But let me redo it again. Okay, that's much better. All right. So like I was saying, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, like I was saying, I'm not rehashing what happened yesterday. I'm just trying to see, I'm trying to expose this lady, this faker, because it seems like Margaret Wanjiru, I'm not disputing if her church was demolished. It was. The government came and demolished a church for whatever reason. It was a contested piece of land. It is a contested piece of land. What I'm trying to say here is that why was she faking injuries? Because she's claimed that the police, whatever the people came in, au maskari walikuja hapo hivyo, she's saying that they came in and roughed her up. And what I mean by roughing her up means they beat her up, sijui walipiga akaumia mkono na miguu zake, and she had to take pain pills to, survive. And I want you to watch this video, and this is the reason why I want you to show you this video. Because at this point, when she's addressing the media, she claimed that she's already injured and she already took painkillers and she has to go to the hospital. But look at her body language. Her hand, especially the right one, because that one is the one that will have a sling on it later on when I show you the picture. But she seems to be moving her arm just fine. Her body language is okay. She's kind of moving around. If you look at her face, there's no signs of injuries or any bruises or anything in her face. Her face is just as shiny and she's moving quite well, her neck and everything else. That's why I'm playing this video, so you can examine her body language. Remember, at this point, she's addressing the media and she's claiming the incident has already happened. She has already been beaten up. But from just the eye test, looking at her, she does not seem like someone who was injured by anyone. Mtu ambaye amepigwa does not move freely like that. The lady is just holding her left arm. Her right arm is moving freely. As you can see, she was wiping her face and doing all that stuff. So, to my estimation, I don't think she was injured or was touched. But, and even if you look at all the video clips that were shown yesterday, at no point did you see anybody touch Margaret Wanjiru as far as hitting her, assaulting her, slapping her, or anything, or roughening her up. None of it. But let's just look at it. I was freezing up. Sorry for those of you who have been here before. I'll play it just a little bit again, so we can examine this. I'm sorry for those guys who are here or who was watching before, but I'll play it for some people who are just joining, okay? Make sure you like the video, please. Just look at her body language. That's what I'm asking you guys to do. Study her body language carefully and tell me at the comment section if you think somebody actually beat this lady up. Let's do it one last time, okay? Let's review.
For land grabbers to come and start claiming that our church properties are their properties. We cannot lose properties in this country. Na ni wengi wamekuja wanasema ni NSO, wengine ni polisi, ni wengi. Definitely government, and it is sad, very sad that this is the government that we campaigned for. I'm yet to believe that they can do this to me. I'm the one who sold Kenya Kwanza, UDA in Nairobi County. I'm the one who gave them a platform. Leave alone that. I'm the one who gave them a vision for Nairobi. And today, look at what we are suffering. Ukiingia huku ndani kumejaa polisi and they are all armed. Wametunyang'anya vitu zetu, wamechukua simu, wametupiga. Me, I have to go to hospital. Sasa nimekunywa painkillers ndio nifike hapa. So I have to rush to hospital kujaribu kuona vile nitatibiwa miguu na mikono. It is sad. It is very, very sad.
Pengine tu Bishop, unaweza tueleza wamekubainia kini hasa cha kuwa?
Hapana, hakuna mtu anatuambia wanafanya nini, wanasema tu wametumwa na MD wa Railways. Na MD wa Railways ajue, hapa hakuna property ya Railways. Na MD wa Railways ajue, kuna Mungu mbinguni. Vile mnasemanga nyinyi kwa serikali kuna Mungu mbinguni, hata kwetu kwa makanisa kuna Mungu mbinguni. If anybody in Kenya Kwanza government can dare touch my properties, je, na wale raia wenye hawana mtu wa kuwasaidia, wale raia wenye hawana mwenyewe? If Jesus is alive, ministries is under attack today, how about the common mwananchi? Tutahamia wapi? Tutaenda wapi? Serikali yetu yenyewe ndio inatupiga. Where are we going to go? Where are we going to run? Mimi mwenyewe nimesalimia watu wa DCIO hapa nikawaambia karibuni mtuokolee. Kumbe they are coming to reinforce their NIS brothers. Alafu wakaitana wengine. So you can really see tumefika place where sisi ndio hatuna mtu wa kutusaidia ama mahali ya kukimbilia. Lakini kuna Mungu mbinguni, wacha tuone what they can do. Wamebomoa huko nyuma, kuna ukuta wanabomoa huko hata saa hii, imesimamiwa wanabomoa. Wamebomea huko na walikuwa wamekuja tena tarehe 10 mwezi wa February. Wakaanza kubomoa from the start. Sasa na sisi tulikuwa na harusi, kanisa ilikuwa imejaa watu.
The wall that you are mentioning, pengine Bishop, is it the same wall that you moved to?
Yes, it is the same wall, and it is the same wall that they had demolished my wall to put their wall. So now they are coming to demolish again, and it is because the court case is coming up, so they are trying to protect themselves. Ati wajafunga jia. Unajua jaji hakuja kuona amerule nini, so they are coming out, they are trying to cover up themselves, which won't work. Hata binguni kuna sheria, acha duniani, hata binguni kuna sheria. Hey guys, I have to go to hospital. Mheshimiwa Mwago is here with us.
So tumekuja hapa leo and hii attack imehappen hapa GM. I've been a member of this church toka nikuwa mtoto mdogo, and there have never been any land issue. So hii kitu yenye na kama nilikuja kama mbunge.
Notice how she moves her body immediately after she finishes her script or whatever she wanted to say. All of a sudden, she is not feeling well. She needs to go to the hospital, and she's acting as if she's she's out of breath. She needs to go to the hospital. Then she chimes in once this gentleman starts speaking. Just look at her body language. Keep on. Just look at it carefully.
To find out the truth. These guys have come, invaded this place. I want any court order, I want any eviction. They have nothing. They're just claiming they're under from us from above. And it is good that they have admitted there's a force behind it. MD Mainga is a person that ofisi yake iko hapa less than 200 meters. Ni mtu mwenye anajua Bishop for a very long time. Alikuwa nafaa kuja hapa atuambie, kinaganaga atuambie. But you can see there is another force yenye iko nyuma, yenye nataka kugrabisha ambaye iko hapa. There's nothing short of that. Kwa sababu
look at her face. Seriously, guys, look at her face. Does she look like someone who has been roughed up or beaten up by the police? Just look at her face and look at how she's behaving. I mean, this is Hollywood. I mean, the acting is terrible, but I'll get to the narrative that she's trying to. Just watch her body language. She was moving her right arm that she will later put on a sling, and look at her movement, body movement. Look at her. Does she look like someone who is in pain? Apart from, of course, emotional pain of, whatever happened.
Huwezi ingia kwa shamba ya mtu bila na hii kuna kesi hadi kotini. Even the respect for the rule of law, it is lacking in this administration. Ile serikali yenye sisi tulisema mtu na matokeo yake, and you can see what they are doing. If you're pressing even their biggest campaigners, you can only imagine what they are doing with us, with the taxes and everything. Ni watu wenye wana huruma na sisi. Na sisi tunasema hivi, kama mtu amefika mahali mpaka na grab shamba ya kanisa, that's not a human being. And we are going to deal with them kwa sababu Kenya pia inatawaliwa na sheria. Na wezi tuambia there's nobody above the law. We are not going to take this lying down. We are going to get to the root bottom of this matter. Kwa sababu tukikubali.
Listen up, y'all. They're living in our hotels, our schools, and getting free prepaid cards. So why is no one talking about this $5,000 that we Americans get? I woke up to a direct.
Sorry for that. But
anyway. Section.
So just be honest with me. From the pictures that you saw, does Bishop Wangari looks like someone who was beat up by the police? She says she was roughed up. Alipigwa, sijui mkono inauma, mguu inauma, and she had to take painkillers, and she was addressing that press conference after taking the painkillers. Meona vile anaongea. Do you honestly believe this woman was beaten up? I'm not doubting that her, your kanisa yake libombolewa. That's not in question right there. I'm just asking about her. Then listen to what that gentleman says and what she says. Listen to what she said. What she's claiming, instead, okay, the MD of the Kenya Railways, whatever, is the person who basically ordered this demolition or whatever the case is, all right? But right off the bat, the narrative is Ruto is grabbing the land, is anabomoa hiyo kanisa, and is taking away that land from her. Somebody who she voted for, who she dedicated her time for, it's already there. Hajafanya investigation. You know, okay. This is what I'm trying to say here. Okay, let's be realistic here. If something like that happens, I have a church and MD wa railways akakuja, wametuma karao wakuja my church. Okay, the first question I'll ask, okay, why are they? What's the problem? Who sent you? What's the problem? Is this land is in dispute? Now, Bishop Wangari understands that this piece of land about your church yake iko, actually you mentioned, umesikia wakisema ati hiyo story ilikuanga kwa kotini and it's coming up. So they'll be going to the court pretty soon. Ndio watatue hiyo maneno ya hiyo land where her church sits. So she knows that this, where her church is, your land that her church is built upon, is a disputed land. Okay? So this was something that maybe she should have expected. Maybe not the demolition, but she should have expected at some point. Hii story itaenda kwa koti. All right? So that's number one. If she understands that, why is it that after this demolition is happening, she quickly goes and immediately blames Ruto for what has happened? Amekimbia straight away to Ruto, blaming Ruto and the chama cha Ruto. Why is she running straight away and starts blaming the president and the chama that she voted for? And you can see this narrative in every Twitter blogosphere. Okay, kila mtu amekimbia akasema, Ruto, you know, it's like it's an already made decision. Ruto is the one who ordered this. Ruto anataka kuchukua hiyo land yako. Ruto is the one who's doing this. Why can't we face the fact of the matter that this land was actually maybe sitting on a government public land? Hii church ya nani? Wangari, Bishop Wangari. Okay? Can we just take that step by step before we go to Ruto and UDA and all that? What has Ruto and UDA have anything to do with what is happening there? Okay? Why is she claiming that Ruto is the one who is and serikali ya Ruto ndio inafanya hivi? If the land was in dispute, then stop blaming the president. I'm not here to defend Ruto or UDA or whatever the case is. But as I said, Margaret Wanjiru understood that her church was seated on a land that is being disputed. Okay? The government is claiming that this church is in a public land. She knew that. And as she has explained, hiyo case ilikuwa inaenda kwa kotini pretty soon. All right? Now, this happens. Those people, the police come and whatever, they did what they did with demolishing or whatever the case is. Why is she so quick to blame Ruto and the chama cha Ruto? Oh, I voted for this. But you see what I'm saying? Now, today she had also continued with this. Again, I started by mentioning she claimed she was beaten up, injured, and all that. You saw she was moving her arm. Her face doesn't appear like somebody who was beaten up. Okay? There's nothing that suggests that this girl, hakuna bruise, hakuna alama, hakuna vidonda. Mtu amepigwa utaona macho yake imefura, or her hair should have been off the, you can tell when somebody is beat up, you can see uko umefura, kuna maalama, something. But that hand that she was moving, that she was saying, unaona alikuwa na move neck yake, hakichwa. I was looking at her body language to see if, she has difficulty moving anything. She was moving just fine. Her face was just fine. Okay? The only thing that the other lady was holding her. But once she finished talking about, saying what she needed to say, akaanza mambo ya the faking, the acting. I think I'll have to go to the hospital. But she kept on chiming in once the judge. So let's look at the pictures that she posted at Yamenda Hospitalini. These are pictures. I'll show you guys. This is isn't vipindi nakwambia. Isn't vipindi. But again, I'm telling you, I'll get to the bigger narrative that this lady is trying to send to the Ninio, to the people. I'll show you. So no, Napa. I don't know if I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me show you one of the pictures when she's going to the hospital. Actually, I won't do that. I won't do that. I won't do that. Let me just go ahead. Anyway, this is what she said today. Let's move on to the next one. This is what she was saying now after this. This is today, actually, earlier today. This is what this lady was saying after all this visanga. I'll show you what she was saying. Here's Margaret Wanjiru. Margaret Wanjiru. Here is what she was saying today about the whole incident. I'm ready.
And I'm not going anywhere. I will be here. You have started a fight that you cannot fight.
Hold on.
I promise you. Believe you me, you will look for me. You went for Benny in America. For me, you will look for me, and I'm not moving, and I'm not going anywhere. I will be here. You have started a fight that you cannot fight. This one is in the heavens. We have lived with this community party all these years. We have never voted. You are using the MD railways. I pity his family. Because as I cried yesterday and today, even his family plus yours are not exempted. My tears will pay. I promise you. Believe you me, you will look for me.
Again, just to wrap up this Margaret thing, because I don't want to dwell in it. It's so stupid. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this. There has been a concerted effort to alienate the Mount Kenya people or support from William Ruto. Again, let me just a disclaimer. I'm not here to defend Ruto. I said I didn't vote for him. I didn't support him. Never have, never will. But we have to be fair. There has been a concerted effort, especially after this man took the mantle as the president, okay? The bloggers have been pushing, saying that, what Mount Kenya are being ostracized. They're being wamerukwa. Ruto amerukwa. He promised them a bunch of stuff, but now wanarukwa, he doesn't care about the same. He has abandoned them. He doesn't care about the people of Mount Kenya. That seems to be a narrative that has been pushed, okay? And that's why I say, immediately after this lady, whatever happened with her church, her first response was, this government, which I voted for, are the ones who are violating me, my rights. They're taking my land. They're doing this. They're grabbing land, whatever. And she's saying, it's a narrative. Of course, Bishop Wangari is a Kikuyu. She's from Mount Kenya, okay? So she's turning her back to this, against this government, saying, why is she quick to do so? If you look at all the bloggers, okay, most of the bloggers, especially the pro-Azimio bloggers, they're all kind of saying the same thing. Oh, watu Mount Kenya, you voted for Ruto, now you're paying for it. All of you, people of Mount Kenya who rejected Raila, now mnaona. All of them, it's kind of like there's a narrative. Ruto has abandoned you. Ruto has abandoned you. And like I said, this Margaret Wanjiru is using this opportunity to do the same thing, to endear herself with her people. Because remember, she was a staunch supporter of UDA. She even turned her church to be one of the office for the UDA people. Remember that? Okay. So now that UDA is now, so let me just use Kenya Kwanza, is unpopular, especially in her region, in Mount Kenya. Okay. And the narrative is changing. It's saying this government, Ruto has abandoned Mount Kenya. He has betrayed Mount Kenya. I'm a part of Otzao. Now he's turning against them. Okay? So when this incident happens, immediately, the first thing Margaret Wanjiru does is what? Blame the government. In fact, she's blaming Kenya Kwanza. And this has nothing to do with politics, political affiliation. Government is government, okay? If there's a dispute in your land, you don't blame the government because this thing was disputed even way before the government to walikujapo. This land was disputed. What has to do with Kenya Kwanza or Ruto grabbing land or whatever? Wewe uko na shida na hii ninio. Shamba yako is in the government's land. It's been disputed. Yes, I understand you're upset that this is happening. They are demolishing that. But why are you blaming Ruto for that or Kenya Kwanza? You know this has been going on. This is a legal dispute that has been going on. Then what was the point of faking those injuries? You'll see. Go look at her pictures. I make a sling in her arm. That's why I was asking you when I was playing that video, I was asking you guys to take a close look at her arms, how she's moving it. Is she moving it freely? Her neck, her face. Do you see any injuries? The answer is a resounding no. She is trying to portray that this government is brutal. And you can see immediately people are starting watu wameanza kuandika, oh, the government eats its own. The government eats its own. It's a narrative that's already there. That's a message that they want to send to the people. I am not here to defend Ruto. I'm not. I'm just saying this narrative is being pushed that the government is turning against its vonya. The government is turning against the churches. The government, that is what they're pushing. It's so obvious. They didn't even delay. Instead of looking at the issue by its merit, the case by its merit. Wow, mekimbia tu. You see, and it's going on and on. You saw even Gaito, Gaito, whatever his name is. Now he's starting to, he's saying, I understand. Listen, to be fair, and I'll be fair here, I understand that this government is not producing. They're not committing to their promises. I get that. But like I say, there's an aggressive, concerted effort that is being pushed to paint this government as a government that has abandoned its voters from the Mount Kenya region. That seems them. And Margaret Wanjiru, being a political prostitute that she is, remember she was on ODM, she left ODM, she went to Jubilee after Jubilee, anaendanga na flow. I won't be surprised if she was doing this to actually use it as an opportunity to quit the UDA Kenya Kwanza faction in order to be aligned with her own people of Mount Kenya. Because, as you know, UDA Kenya Kwanza is deemed to be unpopular in Mount Kenya. And remember, Margaret Wanjiru, she goes with where whoever is popular, that's where you'll find her. When ODM was popular, she jumped with ODM. When Jubilee was popular, she jumped with Jubilee. Akaona hapa hakuna opportunity Jubilee. When UDA and Kenya Kwanza seems to be popular, she jumped on Jubilee. She jumped into UDA. Now she's seeing that UDA and Kenya Kwanza are not popular. Ndio huyu visanga. She's using this opportunity to portray the UDA Kenya Kwanza government to be this brutal, to have forsaken the people of Mount Kenya. So she's using this, saying that she was beaten up, she was roughed up, she has to take painkillers, she had to go to... No, ukiona hizo picha zake za hosi, nothing happened to her. There's no bruise, there's no nothing. But it's the narrative that she's trying to push to endear herself back to the people of Mount Kenya. Because remember, this woman is very ambitious. She always wants some political neo-kitty. She wanted to be a governor of Nairobi. She wanted to be an MP, CEO of Dagareti. She always wants to be something. And she's realizing that UDA and Kenya Kwanza government is not popular. So she's using this incident, okay, of her church being demolished to renounce, to take herself from kutoka kwa UDA and Kenya Kwanza by acting as if, oh, this government is betraying me. Umekuja wamevunja church yangu, wamenipiga. I had to go to the hospital. After all this I done to them. So basically she's saying, I'm leaving UDA and Kenya Kwanza because they're now unpopular, and she's using that incident to do that so that she can jump ship and go to some other, I don't know, whether it's Kamwene or I don't know, whichever way. But write this down. Margaret Wanjiru will be in the next popular government arrangement, popular party. Okay, so that's the whole point she was doing. That's why you see this whole drama. Najua nyinyi mnaangalia vitu kijuju hivi, mnasema oh Margaret sijui nini. No. There was a reason why there was this drama. It's choreographed to achieve just that, to push that narrative. Let's move to Oparanya. Please like the video and subscribe if you're. Let's move to Oparanya. Let's move to Oparanya. Oparanya yesterday was talking on KTN about ODM secession politics. And let's just review what he was saying, Oparanya. And there's some things that he was saying that, I'm telling you, these ODM folks, sometimes they need some, you need some menini. But let's just listen to Oparanya, okay? Let's listen to the interview and I will review it. And we shall watch it together and just get to some kind of understanding. Okay.
Kakamega County, also the chairperson of Azimio Executive Council, the deputy party leader of ODM, and his also as the council of governors chairperson at
agree. This is a political solution.
Mm-hmm.
So
sorry, guys.
You might say the courts have decided. But the political
sorry guys, I'm having connection problems. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades. Dang. All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys. I'm having some difficulties. I was having difficulties with my connection here. I'm being attacked by you know who. But we'll continue. The show must continue. Poleni sana for that. I was talking about Oparanya and his interview with KTN about the secession politics in ODM, within ODM, and the NADCO nonsense that they had. And let's just talk about that, okay? We shall review that. Please like the video, like I said. Are you okay? I'm waiting. Okay, guys. Just give me a second. I'm giving you guys a second to like the video. Like the video. Like the video. As I replay, I had a little problem there, so I'm just fixing that problem. There. All right, let's go on. Are you guys there? Poleni sana for that small small shida. Hiyo ni shida ndogo tu. Hiyo ni shida ndogo. Hiyo ni shida ndogo tuta. Okay, let's just get okay. All right, let's just get this straight here. Poleni sana kwa hiyo. All right, I'm back. All right. Now, let's get to Oparanya. Oparanya was in KTN and he was discussing this with, he was being interviewed. And let's get to that. I'll play you the video so you can understand what I'm trying to talk about. Oparanya was not being, I don't know. Let's listen in, then I'll give you my take on that. Let's listen to what Oparanya is telling us. Then I shall comment on that. All right. So let's listen to Oparanya. Then we'll come back. All right.
Has to be tied to the selection panel, and they're saying we will go ahead. You know, the court didn't stop, and we take more instruction from the court than what's happening in Parliament. Does it matter that
the NADCO report is very important? This was a consensus after what was happening. There were demonstrations. So to have peace, we agreed this is a political solution. So you might say the courts have decided, but a political decision is more important because what you want in this country is peace.
Yes. Hold on. So, Oparanya, this is unbelievable. This is totally unacceptable. Oparanya is telling us that the NADCO report is more important because it provided a political solution in order for us to have peace. He's telling us that we had demonstrations, the Mandamano, which basically to him was a reason to have this NADCO NADCO report so we can have peace. According to him, the pronouncement by the court, remember, Justice Mugure Tande ruled upon this NADCO report and said it's not anchored in law, that the selection panel should go ahead with its job and reconstitute the IBC, pick the next commissioners, basically, okay? But the court only does interpret the law, okay, as it is. And it has pronounced itself and said the constitution should be followed. The process should be followed. There shouldn't be any delay. And I remember in the judgment, the lady said, the justice said of the High Court mentioned that we should not stop the process of choosing the next commissioners at the expense, just because of political expediency. Okay? The constitution is very clear. The selection panel should be picked and the commissioners should be picked. It didn't say that let's have a NADCO report to solve this problem. And if you listen to, if Oparanya is telling us about Mandamano, who started the Mandamano? Kenya was peaceful. After the elections, there was no fight. Kulikuwa kuna war, if I can remember. If anything, these guys started Mandamano 5 months after the elections, after the Supreme Court said that William Ruto won fair and square. So Oparanya is trying to tell us that the NADCO report is more important than what the law says. He's saying that the constitution does not matter. Political expediency, their decision as politicians is more. You see hubristic nature of these politicians. That's what gets me. I'll replay it so you can understand. You hear what he said. I can't believe it that he said this.
Happening and the issue of funding. But work with me on the white table now is on the round table is Wycliffe Oparanya, Pioneer Governor, Kakamega County, also the chairperson of Azimio Executive Council, the deputy party leader of ODM, and he served also as the Council of Governors chairperson at some point during the 10 years. Thank you for staying with us.
Yeah, thank you.
I guess my first question has to be tied to the selection panel. And they're saying we will go ahead, you know, the court didn't stop and we take more instruction from the court than what's happening in Parliament. Does it matter that a political process is respected?
You see, the NATCO report is very important. This was a consensus after what was happening. There were demonstrations. So to have peace, we agreed. This is a political solution.
Mm-hmm.
We don't stop obeying the constitution, the law, just because some people decided to demonstrate. That is what Oparanya should get through his thick head. We do not stop obeying the law just because a bunch of losers decide to have a demonstration. We are not going to abandon the constitution because Oparanya and his psychopathic supporters on the ODM side want to have a demonstration. So try again, Oparanya. Try again. Let's continue.
So you might say the courts have decided, but a political decision is more important because what you want in this country is peace.
Yes.
So we have already agreed on that report. It has already gone.
Political decisions are not more important than the constitution. The constitution and the rule of law trumps any political decision made anytime, any day, anywhere. Okay? And any political decision that's made should be within the boundaries of the law, the constitution. Let's continue.
Parliament, I will not see the hurry of now implementing the court order when already a political solution is being found within the NATCO report.
You know, sometimes you get to think, then why did they have to hold this process for such a long time if they knew they would just take us back where there was?
Why were they holding? They were holding because this political process was on. That's why they were holding. Otherwise, they would have gone ahead.
Will they be relying on the goodwill that we have seen from the Kenya Kwanza side, especially on supporting right?
They were holding, and I hate to take it up for the president because he's not a popular man, but he was holding in hopes that you dimwits will stop the mandamano. Okay? That's why he was holding. But actually, he was not supposed to stop because you guys are mandamano. He was supposed to go ahead and pick the selection panel that will eventually pick up the commission, the next IEBC commission. He didn't have to do that. That's the whole point. He did not have to do that. He just felt like you guys were making noise. Okay, let's see what you have to say. And I'm not taking up for Ruto, like I said. But go ahead.
Raila Odinga's candidature for African Union, that now there'll be about bipartisan parliament supporting this.
Yes.
Will they be relying on that in your opinion?
Definitely, they will.
But
Definitely
if they need that goodwill from your side, because you might say we are giving back because you are giving us back something. Is that the case first?
The goodwill, no, the goodwill is already there. Mm-hmm. Whether the AU position is not there or is there, the goodwill is already there. And the goodwill started when the two groups agreed at Bomas that this is what we feel will move this country forward.
Mm-hmm. And this is, they wanted this to be reconstituted.
And again, Oparanya, listen to the words he was saying. When these two groups met at Bomas to decide what direction the country goes, again, the two groups does not constitute the whole country. It is not representative of the whole nation. This is two groups, Azimio and Kenya Kwanza. Kenyans are bigger than that. There's more people to make decisions about this than just Kenya Kwanza and Azimio. The only legal body that national issues as to be debated and legislated is the legislative body, not Bomas. You don't meet at Bomas because Raila Odinga and Ruto want to decide what's good for the country. No, that is not what the Constitution says. They should, all the MPs, members of parliament, our legislators should meet at the legislative body and discuss how the country moves forward, not Raila Odinga and Ruto. Oparanya is out of order. But let's continue.
What happens to the current membership?
Yeah, the current then collapses because reconstitution now is based on the nautical report.
It collapses entirely, or
it,
they can
it collapses, but the member, you see the select.
The reconstitution of the commissioners of the IEBC is not dependent on the NADCO report. Again, Oparanya, listen carefully. There's a law in place and there's a constitution in place. It does not say that it has to go by what NADCO report says. Okay? NADCO report has already been declared to be not anchored in law. And we already have the issue that can be addressed, has been addressed at the with the law. Constitution addresses the issue. And the court says the IEBC should be reconstituted immediately as the law requires. We don't have to get to that silly report that you want to make us believe to follow.
Process starts again. The people who selected them can still select the same people. It doesn't matter. But the process must start afresh.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you, as a seasoned politician or a deputy party leader of ODM, and obviously an elder in this country, do you care about the constitutional crisis that the lack of IBC commissioners is likely to cause in this country?
But you see, we have stayed nearly over 1 year without IBC. We have stayed a year. Now, already we are near there to have one. So what crisis will you be talking about if in 3 months we can have IBC in place? If they expedite the report.
So you don't see a problem with not having commissioners because one side of the divide is holding the other side of
now,
the
what will be the crisis? I don't know what will be the crisis.
If we have boundaries review, if we have by-elections, if anything happens.
The by-elections already, they are supposed to be there. They have been holding it because IBC is not there.
Yes.
Now, IBC will be in place in the near future.
So what you're saying, we can...
Oparanya, you are denying there's about 3 constituencies who lost their representatives and they haven't been able to exercise their rights to choose their representative. They're not being represented at the legislative body because of actually the Azimio side, all right? Because of this delay of this nonsense, all right? Oparanya is telling us that we can actually wait for another 3 months before we can implement the NADCO report. Again, there shouldn't be a crisis. There's nothing like constitution crisis. Unless this, I think the person asking this question doesn't understand what a constitution crisis is. And Oparanya is just equally ignorant, okay? The Constitution provides the solution to the problem. It says quickly, it explicitly spells out the process that the president has to pick a selection panel, and the selection panel goes ahead and picks the commissioner of the IBC. It doesn't say that the president should not select the next selection panel and wait for the opposition so they can sit down and come up with a report and come up with a way of constituting the next commissioners. That's not what it says. So there shouldn't be any problem. There shouldn't be any constitution crisis. The Constitution is very clear what needs to be done. It's just that the president stopped in order to talk to this Azimio terrorist. Okay? And he shouldn't have done that because he's violating the Constitution. The court has pronounced itself and said, go ahead and pick the next IBC, the selection panel, and let's get the IBC in order. This NADCO thing is not anchored in law, so forget about it. Okay? We don't have to do things your way, Azimio. I'm sorry. There's things that you have to live with. If you lose an election, sit tight. Do your job as the opposition. All right? So this man should not, I'm getting mad, just listen to him. But let's continue.
Now, the boundary review, it has been extended within the report from the 12 years to 20 years.
Okay.
So that has been taken care of.
So we can wait.
That is
what you're telling us.
Yeah. Within 3-4 months, the IBC will be there.
What if they don't wait?
Yeah, they are free to go ahead, but it might cause also a crisis. What happens if they are going ahead? Because that was a key issue in our agenda. That was a key issue that we had maandamano because of it.
Yes, thank you very much, Oparanya. You say that was a key issue in your agenda as Azimio, not the agenda of all Kenyans. In the agenda of all Kenyans, we look at the constitution, which we agreed and swore upon to uphold as you office holders. Okay, so the Kenya's agenda is this: we need to have a selection panel that will choose the next IBC commissioner, so that those people who do not have a representative, they can have an opportunity to choose their legislators. Okay, so they can be represented. So now Oparanya and his Azimio gang were holding the government hostage, Kenyans hostage, forcing the ruling party to stop the selection panel, the selection process of the IBC, saying that they have to be involved in the process. And they are saying that without doing that, they shall cause chaos. They will not let the government do their job, what the president is supposed to be doing as per the constitution. That's what basically he's arguing, that the agenda, the Azimio agenda, is what matters. They don't care about the constitution anymore. They don't care about the rule of law. It is about the Azimio, what they want. They want to be part of the Nenio. They want to be part of the selection process. And the law does not say that. And they're saying that is the why we went to Maandamano. Basically, they are holding us for ransom. Wanaambia wa Kenya, amwezi kuchagua IBC. Wanaambia wa Kenya, you cannot select your legislators unless we, Azimio, decide so. Okay? This is what basically Oparanya is saying. That's why I say the hubristic nature of this Azimio folks is unparalleled. Of course, hata pia watu wa Ninio Kenya Kwanza, the government is just as Ninio. But in this particular issue, the Azimio folks are really on the wrong. And it needs to be said.
So if you go ahead, then the political goodwill collapses. Do you want us to go back? Us to go back to Maandamano? Who will want that?
Yes, you can go back to Maandamano. Hey, Oparanya, you can go back to Maandamano anytime. It is in the constitution. Go back to Maandamano. We don't care. You're free to go back to Maandamano tonight. As long as you don't disturb anyone, you don't ban cars, you don't infringe on other people's rights. But you can go to Maandamano. It's enshrined in the constitution. You have the right to picket. Go ahead. Stop threatening us with Maandamano.
Is that even a possibility? Because in November, December, right up to December, there was a lot of talk from your party leader of January.
But you saw a few issues yesterday. The issues, that's right. And it can happen. Do you want it to happen?
It's not too far to contemplate that and your party can go back to the street.
If we are now peaceful, there is a process, political goodwill.
Oparanya, stop threatening people at sijui mtaenda maandamano. Simwende. Who do you think you're scaring? Oparanya, wewe una ujinga sana.
Why can't we wait for 2-3 months and have the IBC constituted as the natural report?
Don't you think the commissioners who are going ahead based on what the court said just the other day, about 3 weeks ago, don't you think they're even afraid that you might get them out of office?
Yeah, but where is the goodwill? You see, when you are dealing with a political process, there must be goodwill. There is goodwill from both sides. Now, what is the hurry? They can still, if they are worried of their jobs, they can still go back to those people who nominated them or institutions that nominated them to nominate them again.
So they shouldn't worry.
They shouldn't
Is
worry.
there goodwill in Raila Odinga's quest to be Africa Union Commission chairperson?
Yeah.
Where is it coming from?
You see, one, we have supported him as a party, as a coalition. Already the president has pronounced himself that he's supporting the cause. And I hope when they met in Uganda, they talked about it. So there is already goodwill. And I think yesterday, but one in Parliament, when the president was addressing the members of the IALA, he also mentioned it. So I feel there's goodwill from both sides to have Raila get that seat.
Why is it that the majority of support when this announcement was made was from the Kenya Kwanza side? I mean, people who previously would have never supported Raila Odinga.
Obviously, you know, Raila has been their headache. So they feel that if Raila is not there, then they will have it easy.
Will they?
2027, I don't know.
You should know.
Yeah, I don't know, because Raila can still be around 2027.
Can still or will be around?
Yeah, can still be around.
Will he?
I'm not tablet. It's up to him. He's my party leader.
You sit in the executive as your council.
Yeah.
Will he be around in 2027?
Yeah, but he's a Kenyan. He will be around, obviously. He's a Kenyan. He will be around to vote. Even if he will not be standing, he will be around to vote as a Kenyan. You don't want him to come back to vote? He also has an option of even standing 2027.
Has this been discussed?
It has not been discussed, but there is a talk that he might stand. He has supporters, including myself.
If he decides to run in 2027, you will back him?
I wouldn't mind, because he's my party leader. I wouldn't mind supporting him.
The removal of Raila Odinga from this equation to Africa Union is perhaps one of the most important things.
Yes.
But there's the talk that even during the session that was held by the Azimio and ODM members, let me just say Azimio, there's a talk that they really wanted to understand, or did you as a group want to understand why Raila made the decision to leave local politics?
Yeah, that was obvious. Being our leader, he announced that he was going for the position. He had not informed us.
Okay.
When I say us, I talk about Azimio leadership. He had not informed them. Unfortunately, when he announced the following day, he had to leave for an overseas trip to Germany. So from there, he came back. He went to Namibia for the presidential funeral that was there. From there, he went to Uganda. So we didn't have time to meet him to explain why he made that decision. And yesterday, he came and explained.
What was his reason for going to Africa Union?
Yeah, you know, he has friends all over Africa. And one of his best friends is Oparanya. So Oparanya felt that the guy has struggled a lot for this country. And at his age, this is the time he can now use his experience to shape Africa. And he thought he was the right candidate for that particular position. Yes.
Today we are reporting that Raila Odinga said the reason that he chose to run for the Africa Union Commission.
Anyway, I just wanted to mention that in regards to Oparanya's statement, it just shows how Azimio, you know, they just I don't know what to say. What I can say is that they have to respect the law, the rule of law. This NADCO report has been declared to be not anchored in law, and we need to stop with it. We need to stop with it. We have to respect the rule of law. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, please go ahead and subscribe, share, like, comment. This is Kenya Revolutionary. I will stop here. I might come in later in the evening or later tonight, depending on what time you're in, and we can discuss more on what's going on in Kenyan politics. Thank you very much for watching. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Okay? I'll talk to you guys later. Peace and blessings. Thank you.